She laughed at me in front of everyone. It was at Jake's 32nd birthday, on that rooftop bar glowing golden under strings of light, the city beneath us pulsing quietly like a heartbeat you could almost feel. I had just finished telling our group how I had surprised Emily with a weekend in Napa for our 5th anniversary, flights already booked, vineyard tour confirmed. The small velvet box sat hidden in my sock drawer, ready for the moment I would finally ask her to marry me. Glasses clinked. Cheers echoed. Then Emily, my Emily, the woman who still kissed me goodbye every morning like we were young and untouchable, tilted her head and smirked. Her voice cut through the chatter. Napa? Really? How predictable. The laughter that followed wasn't warm. It was sharp, the kind that cuts deeper than you realize. I felt heat crawl across my face. I tried to laugh along, but the sound lodged in my throat like splintered glass. She continued, swirling her rose, eyes gleaming with something cruel. Come on. 5 years, and you still think a ring and a weekend in wine country are going to trap me? Sweetheart, I love you. But let's be honest, you're not exactly the adventure I signed up for. The group fell silent except for one nervous chuckle from Jake. I stared at her, waiting for a punchline. There was none. She just sipped her drink and looked away, as if she'd commented on the weather. That night, lying awake beside her, the sound of her steady breathing, once comforting, now felt mocking. I replayed her words over and over, searching for exaggeration, alcohol, anything that might let me forgive her. But the humiliation pressed down hard, hotter than anger, colder than grief. 2 weeks passed, 14 days of tiptoeing around the edges of my own dignity. The next morning, she apologized, though lightly, a quick "I was tipsy. You know me" over coffee, her fingers brushing my wrist as if that could erase it all. I nodded. I swallowed. I loved her. 5 years felt too long to throw away. Maybe I was boring. Maybe I was predictable. Maybe she was right. But then the small signs began to pile up, undeniable if I looked too closely. She changed her phone password, claimed she'd forgotten the old one. She started taking calls behind locked doors, voice dropping low so I couldn't hear. Her perfume shifted. Gone was the citrus I bought her every Christmas, replaced with something darker, spicier. Late nights at work stretched into 2 a.m. Ubers. Her hair damp, as if from someone else's shower. I told myself I was being paranoid. Trust was a choice. Love was letting the doubt exist without letting it win. Then came the Thursday that shattered me. I had come home early, hoping to surprise her with flowers at lunch. Hoping maybe I could stitch the rooftop wound with a bit of romance. The apartment was unnervingly quiet. Her black heels, the ones she wore when she wanted to feel dangerous, sat by the door. Music thumped from our bedroom, her curated sex playlist filling the air. I froze in the hallway, bouquet trembling, thorns biting into my palm. The door was ajar. I saw them. Emily, moving above Jake, my best friend since college, the same man who had toasted our first anniversary, who had helped me pick out the engagement ring. They didn't notice me at first. She called his name with abandon, like it belonged on her lips. His hands gripped her hips the way mine once had, before familiarity dulled everything. A part of me detached, watching as if it were happening to someone else. The flowers slipped from my grasp, petals scattering across the hardwood like drops of blood. Then she saw me. Her eyes widened, not guilt, not yet, just shock. Then calculation. She didn't stop, only slowed, as if deciding how the scene should unfold. Jake's face shifted from pleasure to horror. "Get out," she said. Calm. Almost bored. I couldn't stop laughing, even though my chest felt like it was splitting. The sound that escaped me was jagged, raw. "You know what I think," I managed, my voice trembling. "I think you mocked me for wanting forever with you while you were already plotting your escape with my best friend." Jake scrambled for the sheets, his apologies tumbling out like fragile shards that fell apart before they could land. Emily slid off him with slow precision, as if she still owned the space, wrapping herself in my favorite gray shirt, the one I wore on lazy Sundays, and looked at me with something dangerously close to pity. "You were suffocating me," she said. "All your plans, your safe little life. I needed room to breathe." I glanced at the ring box still tucked in the drawer, the plane tickets on my phone, The life I had painstakingly built, brick by careful brick. And I smiled. Not because I wasn't broken, not because my heart hadn't been ripped and shredded, still bleeding beneath my ribs, but because in that moment, watching her stand there, defending her cruelty like it was essential air, something clicked. Karma didn't need to knock. It was already inside. I left that day, taking only what had been mine before she rewrote our story. Jake sent me 17 messages, crying emojis, promises, threats to end his life if I told his wife. I blocked him. Let him sink. 2 weeks later, exactly 2 weeks from that rooftop where her laughter had cut me open, I got the call. Emily was in the hospital. Overdose. Not a suicide, she insisted later. Just too many pills after a rough night. The irony tasted sharp, almost sweet. Jake's wife had found out. Not because of me. Someone else caught them at a hotel bar. A blurry photo posted by mistake. The fallout was catastrophic. Divorce papers. The prenup she had joked about? Suddenly real. Jake lost his house, his dog, half his income. Emily lost her job. Sleeping with your married boss's best friend? Not great for your reputation. She called me from that hospital bed, her voice small, fractured. Nothing like the woman who had shredded me in front of everyone. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean. You did, I said softly. Every word. That's what made it true. I hung up. Some nights, I still hear that rooftop laugh echo in my mind. Some nights, I catch a whiff of that perfume on sheets that aren't mine anymore. But most nights, there's a quieter feeling. Peace, maybe, or the sharp, clean satisfaction of a debt finally settled.